ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಟೀಚರ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಚಾನಲ್ಗೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ಇವತ್ತಿನ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಮಾ ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ರೀ ಪದ್ಯದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೋತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಟೀಚರ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಚಾನಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರೋ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಆಗಿ, ಹಾಗೆ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿರುವ ಬೆಲ್ ಐಕಾನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮಾಡುವುದರ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ನಾವು ಹಾಕುವ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ನ ಮುಂಚಿತವಾಗಿಯೇ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಓಕೆ, ಈಗ ಪದ್ಯದ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೋತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಗ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಮಾ ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ರೀ ಬರೆದಿರುವವರು ರಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಬಾಂಡ್. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಪೋಯಮ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್, ದ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪೋಯಮ್ ಡಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಾಲ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಗ್ರ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಮದರ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡಿಶ್. ವಾಟ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್ ವಾಸ್ ಶಿ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಹಿಮ್? ವೈ ಡಸ್ ಹಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಹರ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಸೋ? ಲೈನ್ಸ್ 1 to 4. Answer. The speaker calls his grandmother a genius. He considers her a genius because she could climb trees quickly and effortlessly even at an old age. Question number 2. Grandma had been in the habit of climbing trees for a very long period. Identify the lines that suggest this. Answer. First point, ever since childhood she would had this gift. Second point, when last she climbed a tree she was 62. Third question, look at the lines 7 and 8. She would be told, who do you think would tell her so? Answer. Her family members and relatives would tell her so. Question number 4. Do you find anything add in the reply given by the grandma? If so, why do you think it is add? Lines 10 to 11. Answer. Yes, it is add. Instead of trying to grow old gracefully, she says she will grow disgracefully, which is unusual because old people are expected to behave quietly and carefully. Question number 5. Others had feared that Granny would fall from a tree one day or the other. Did this happen or did something else happen? Lines 15 to 18. Answer. No, she did not fall. Instead, she climbed a tree and could not come down and she had to be rescued. Question number 6. What had the doctor recommended? What was the reaction of the kids to this advice? Answer. The doctor recommended a quit week in bed. The kids felt relieved and tucked her up well. Question number 7. Quote the lines which suggest how wholeheartedly Granny enjoyed climbing a tree. Answer. For being happier in a tree than in a lift. Question number 8. My dad knew his duties. What did he think his duty was? Answer. He thought his duty was to build a tree house for his mother so that she could live happily in a tree. Question number 9. Look at the picture given below the title. Quote the lines that might have guided the artist to draw that. Answer. Made her a tree house with windows and a door, so Granny moved up, upholding her right to reside in a tree. Read and appreciate. A. First question. Read the poem again. Does the behavior of Grandma strike you as unusual? If so, support your view, quoting her ways and responses to others. One is done for you. Grandma climbing a tree. Wave 1. Answer. Yes, grandma's behavior is unusual because she does things normally not expected from an elderly woman. She climbs trees even at the age of 62, something she has been doing since childhood. She learned to climb trees from her brother and could climb better than him. When others tell her that she is too old to climb trees, she laughed at them and says she would die if she could not climb a tree, even when she falls and breaks her leg. She refuses to stop and demands a tree house. Question number second. Growing old gracefully is an expression used in the poem. Discuss with your partner whether what the grandma was doing was graceful or otherwise. Answer. Grandma was growing old in her own graceful way, though her actions seem unconventional. She remains independent, energetic, and confident. She refuses to accept society's idea that old age means weakness. Her love for climbing trees keeps her active and happy, which shows that her way of growing old is graceful, just different from others. Question number third. Both the narrator or speaker in the poem and his father were very considerate towards grandma, substantiate the statement with textual support. Answer. The narrator and his father shows care and respect for grandma. When she falls and breaks her leg, they admit her to the hospital and take care of her later. Instead of stopping her from climbing trees, the father builds a tree house for her so she can climb safely. This shows their understanding and affection for her wishes. Question number 4. If you were to divide the entire poem into two parts, which line would you pick up to be the beginning of the second part? Why? Answer. The second part can begin with the line last week in the dusk of evening. Reason. This line marks a clear shift in the poem from grandma's past habit of climbing trees to the incident of our fall, which leads to the climax and resolution of the poem. B. First question. Have a close look at the rhyme scheme. Write at least 5 pairs of the rhyming words. Example. Said bed. Answer. Said bed. Trees free. Brother other. Old told. Second question. It was like a brief season. Name the figure of speech in the sentence. What are the two things compared? Explain. Answer. Figure of speech. Smile. Things compared. Grandma's short stay in bed is compared to a brief season. Explanation. The poet compares grandma's illness and rest period to a short season to show that it did not last long, just like a season passes quickly. Grandma soon recovered and returned to her active life. Question number third. For being happier in a tree than in a lift, what is suggested through this line? Exchange your views with your partner. Answer. This line suggests that grandma prefers freedom, nature, and adventure over modern comforts. A tree represents natural joy and independence, while a lift symbolizes modern but restrictive convenience. Grandma feels happier doing things her own way rather than following society's expectations. Question number 4. There was not a tree she had not been up is an expression. Rewrite the above sentence without using not. Note the meaning should be the same. Give some more examples from outside the text to illustrate the effective use of double negatives. Answer. Rewritten sentence. There was not no tree. She had not climbed or she had climbed every tree. Examples of double negatives. Outside the text. First point, I did not see nothing. Second point, she never said nothing. Third point, she can't do nothing. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಇಷ್ಟ ಆದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಹಾಗೆ ಟೀಚರ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಚಾನಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಫಾರ್ ವಾಚಿಂಗ್.